Well, hello everybody. How are y'all?
Hey
Uh,
everyone.
my videos. I'm aware that my video's a little like sketchy right now. I had a little bit of a little bit of a situation. Is it still doing it?
Mm, if you stay really, really still, I don't think we'll notice.
Well, everybody's gonna be saying that my mouth ain't moving right. Uh, I'm afraid to change too much. I'm afraid I might drop out. So if I were to drop out, then okay, here we go. Here we go. That might do it right there. See if that does it. It changed a bunch of a bunch of my Streamlabs settings got mixed up a minute ago. But all right, is it? All right, well, hopefully it'll fix itself. I'm not sure what's causing it. I'll work on that again later.
Yeah.
But guys, I was messing with my setup and I logged into Streamlabs and for some reason it cleared all my settings. So it was a race to get everything back like it needed to be. And I'm just not sure if being logged in was a good idea.
well, hopefully we can continue on, and it won't be too bad. But anyway,
Maybe not.
how's everybody doing? We've got quite the crowd here. A lot of people in early saying Merry Christmas, and I know both Dave and I. Merry Christmas to everyone. It's good to see you here. Hopefully, everybody is having a good holiday, however you're celebrating it, and maybe even have a few extra days off here. So, is it my Christmas lights that do I have to turn my Christmas lights off for you?
Do what now?
Just messing with you. Anyway,
No, it's some of these settings on this camera. I think I found it.
yeah,
I think my
that
FPS was jacked up.
seems to be pretty smooth. So,
Did that? All right, just do I look as smooth and sexy as usual? You got to answer.
I mean,
All
as
right, yeah,
usual.
yeah. I think Streamlabs wasn't reading the Elgato right, and I may still have some settings messed up, but hopefully I will be able to get it set up uh, without any major issues. But I'm scrolling the settings now to see if it
Well,
might be some jacked up. We'll see.
I think we're seems to be okay on my end for now. You seem to smooth it out, so hopefully we're doing good. But anyway, yeah, how's everybody doing? Has everybody finished their last minute projects? I mean, we're kind of down to crunch hour here if you haven't. Uh, and I may or may not admit to being working on one yet this evening myself, but been it's been a rush for a lot of people, I imagine. So
Yeah, I have luckily been mostly caught up, and so I actually got to play a little bit. Y'all saw a couple of my creations that I made, playing with the CNC, having dreams about a bigger CNC, uh, and everybody keeps telling me what I need to get, and I have been looking at all the different brands. Uh, I actually reached out to a couple of them to see if maybe since I was going to be using it in videos, maybe I could get like a little better deal because man, some of these machines are freaking high. But but so I'm still up in the air. I've got it narrowed down so far to uh, X carve. I like the look of the X carve. I like the bulkiness and the overkill because they overkilled that thing. I think I like the Onefinity, of course, because it comes highly recommended from you and I've seen some pretty good videos on it. I think it is very rigid. The cable management, it's, I it looks okay, but that's kind of my hang up with it. And I have recently, because my buddy Tip has a Shapeco, I started looking at the Shapeco Pros. But whatever I get, I have decided I don't want to just get the next step up. I want to go ahead and just get the Pro version because I know I like it. I know I'm going to be using it, and I don't want to have to buy two CNCs. So that is the goal. But yeah, still working on that. Guys, also, if you're not familiar, I think most of you are. If you're not familiar, we will be doing the giveaway tonight. And I've got that form out there. There should be a link in the description on my YouTube channel or Facebook, either way, or whatever medium you're using. There should be a way to find that. So, yeah, Steve just dropped it for us. So if you haven't already, go ahead and put your name in the hat for that. Somebody, I'll go ahead and throw this out there. Somebody did ask me earlier. Apparently, some countries, Amazon might not be the way to go for them. And they asked if I'd be open to do the $50 through PayPal or something like that. And if the winner decides they want a gift card and you prefer PayPal, yes, I will do. I will be willing to do that. It's $50, whichever way it goes. So that is something that I did not think about, guys, because I'm not used to international stuff. Oversight on my part, but easy enough fix. I've got PayPal. We can send it that way.
Yeah.
But
So I've got it linked down in, if you're on my YouTube channel, I've got the link down there. I did also drop it in the chat. So everybody make sure you got that entered in there, as David's put up some prizes for tonight, which is very generous of him. So definitely send him the love for that. And we'll be doing that a little past halfway or so. We were thinking. So
yeah, I want to give it a chance for some of the folks that maybe couldn't get here, because I know a lot of folks have, and I'm sorry to you guys that can't make it for the live show. Sorry about that. This was something I came up with, and I just wanted to kind of give a little bit of something back to everybody. And this is also, me and Steve have talked about before, maybe having some raffles occasionally for like major events, channel anniversaries or whatnot. Maybe raffling off some of the machines or something like that. And this is kind of my way of testing the process to try to figure out what works. Now, this isn't as big as a machine would be necessarily, or some type of other stuff. There will be shipping involved if we ever get around to doing that. But I felt like this was probably the easiest way to get it up and going and just try it out, see how it works. And like I said, good luck to everybody. I know a lot of
yeah,
folks are in here tonight that probably wouldn't be otherwise, but I appreciate that. But if you are in here, guys, it's 183. I'm still at 185 now. Hit the like button. Please, for the love of God, hit the like button. That's what I want for.
So,
I wanted to break 200 in a live for Christmas. That's what I told Steve. I was like, we keep getting close. We can't quite get over it, and I want to get over 200 people in the live before the new year. And this was kind of the little thing that I come up with to do. And Steve agreed. He thought it was a good idea. So we'll see how it works out. If it doesn't work out, then I'm just gonna chalk it up as we tried. But
well,
I do appreciate it. I know Steve does too. Every one of y'all that watches our videos, buys from our Etsy shops, some of you give the little super thanks or whatever on Facebook or YouTube. I do not ask for those things. I do appreciate it when it happens, but I don't ask for those. Neither does Steve, because it's I do have a little bit of a business here doing laser stuff, and it makes me a little bit of money. And me and Steve also have other ways with companies and whatnot that we can make a little bit of money. So I don't really like coming in here asking for you guys to give. I just ask for like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. It doesn't cost anything. So
yeah, we like to keep it to where it doesn't cost you monetarily to support us. And so watching the videos, hitting those like buttons, using our links when you can, those are all ways that hopefully you can definitely support us at no extra cost to you. So we definitely are hoping to do more of these in the future. And as like Clack said, we're gonna kind of try this out, see how it works out, and work out the bugs, and we'll keep working as we grow. Hopefully we'll be able to do more for everybody that's supporting us. So thanks everyone who is here, and we'll have some fun with that later tonight. So
Yeah. One more little thing, housekeeping wise, on the giveaway. You should, and I'm assuming it worked because I didn't sign myself up, but you should have received an email from my website, basically like an automatic reply letting you know that you signed up. So if you tried to sign up, make sure you got that email. It could be in spam. I don't know, but check it and let me know. And it says if you're worried that it didn't go in, even if you do it 2 or 3 times, guys, it's only going to let you enter the drawing once. The way I've got it set up to do. And currently we have 237. Ooh, ooh. And we're at 196 people. So we got to get to 200. Y'all call a friend and tell them come on over. But we got to get to 200. I want to see 200. We haven't made it there yet. So I'm gonna try to go through some. Oh, 201. Woohoo! All right.
well, there you go.
Made it. Oh, now I'm back to 199. Can't win. Can't win. But let me go through some of these comments here. See if we got any questions. I tried recruiting Brandy for question patrol, but what's up, Hobo? How are you, sir? Michael Felix, Todd Vance, Gordon Gregory. Okay, I'm probably not gonna be able to read all the names tonight,
All right.
guys.
Well, Chris is wondering, is it too late to start Christmas shopping? And no, Chris, if you're shopping for Christmas in 2024, this is a great time to start.
Yep. And to all of you guys, holler Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you there. Crafting with Gene. A bunch of folks. New York. Oh, and the map. Don't forget to tell everybody about the map, Steve.
Oh yeah. So well, Heidi, all the way up in New Hampshire, is saying they're having a wet Christmas. For here, we had rain, and we're going to have rain tomorrow, and so it's a little weird in Minnesota. We're feeling like the weather's being a little passive aggressive, kind of like Minnesotans. So we'll see. I'm afraid how we're going to pay for this later in the winter, but
Yeah, we're getting rain right now, too. It's actually pretty intense because I can hear it inside here.
yeah, it
Uh,
was pretty hard up here too with the rain.
Scrolling through the comments, like I said, Merry Christmas, everybody. And I'm trying to see where everybody's checking in from. We got a lot of folks from all over. And Brian's on a borrowed computer, so if he has any issues, he's going to blame it on whoever's computer it is. Well, Hobo, wow. Thank you, sir. Not like I said. Uh, yeah, well, appreciate that. iPad must be upside down. Somebody's having technical problems. At least I'm not the only one having technical problems. Well, it wasn't really technical problems. It was I shouldn't have been messing with things right before the live started kind of problems. Steve had
So
those cool Christmas lights, and I was trying to get them, and I hit sign in, and when I signed in to Streamlabs, it deleted every preset that I had built in the past year and a half. So I've got to rebuild all that when I get a chance. Uh,
so we do
Woodland,
have
Alabama?
we do have a laser engraver community map that we are inviting people to join. There's a simple form you can fill out. You can put whatever you want as far as your name or your company name, your nickname, your online name, and then a location, which it does need to be something that Google Maps can recognize, but it doesn't need to be your specific address. And I update that usually once a day or so because it's not automated, but it drops little pins in for that. So I believe I've got the links down in my description. Otherwise, I'll try to drop
Mine have
the
it too.
link in the chat. And you can go ahead and fill that out, drop that in there, and it's kind of cool to see who all is where and how spread out we are. Notice that we've got we're starting to get more people filling out. We've got someone from it's like Netherlands maybe, a
Mm-hmm.
couple in United Kingdom, even we're way up there in Norway. So and our friends in New Zealand, Australia, South Africa. So it's really cool to see the reach, from a couple of guys in our shops here in northern and southern United States that everybody here is all over. So feel free to fill out that form. We'll get the map updated and we'll continue growing that.
Did you tell everybody to try to get me to get a 150? Because everybody's saying 150 Elite's the way to go. And that's what
It,
I've been
I,
looking at. The Elite Foreman is what I've been looking at. I don't know, guys. I mean, there's so many to pick from.
well, it's got a lot of the features that the original 150 doesn't have, but even my original 150, I've had uh, nothing but success with it every time I've used it. There's been a couple things, you got to maintain it, you got to clean it, and things like that, and make sure it's level. But it's been a pretty solid machine. And I know you've mentioned the cable management, and it's not what I would say I was looking for, but I've also never had problems with it. And
Well,
if you
and
even go with the
I
original
can
one for
upgrade it.
150 bucks, for 150 bucks on the original one, you get the new cable chains and you're good to go. But if you're buying new, I'd seriously look at the Elite Foreman. I'm still on the fence about upgrading mine. I've got that upgrade path, and
Yeah.
you know, it's not so much a need as a want.
Yeah.
So
Some folks are asking about the drawing. Let me go ahead and grab the link for that again and drop it. We will be doing it a little bit later, and the reason being is I do know that sometimes it takes a while for everybody to get in here, and I want to give everybody that usually shows up with us and hangs out with us an opportunity to. I hope this doesn't freeze up my browser like it does sometimes. Get everybody an opportunity to sign up. But click that link. It's a simple form, guys. I'm not asking you for your blood type and everything. All I want is an email address. Make sure it is your email address. Like, recheck it a couple times. Once you submit that email address, you should get a auto reply letting you know that you're, entered. And I put a little brief description of the rules, which basically says to claim your prize, you got to be here. And the reason for that is one, uh, like I said, I'm trying to get to 200, y'all. I mean, I know that's a little gimmicky, but hey, got to do what I got to do. But yeah, once you do that, if you get the email, if you receive the email, you're on the list. And currently, let's see, let me go back to where I was. I'll see how many people are in the list. It was over 200 a minute ago. So it's showing 216 now. So 250, it says 252, but it's saying 216 contacts. I do know some people either didn't know that it went or whatever and tried to do it 2 or 3 times, but it basically just confirms what you've already put up in there. Somebody asked me about the bees. Bad news. A couple of those weaker hives that I got didn't make it. Went out yesterday and checked, and this last little code snap that we got apparently was a little more than they could handle. But the two big hives, my two strong hives that I thought would fare well, are still doing great, and I gave them some little bee cake to keep them full, and hopefully they'll make it through the winter fine, and then we can split some hives in the spring. But most of the ones that didn't make it were all rescued hives that were kind of weak or had already been sprayed or whatever. So I didn't have real high hopes for them. Got them kind of late in the season. I'm still scrolling comments, man. There is a bunch of comments tonight.
well, here's a deal for you, Steve Hobo with Wood. He'll make you a deal on his X Carve, and he'll get the 150 Foreman.
Is it the Pro? I mean, the Pro's upgraded, but I'm still a little like it just doesn't look bulky enough. And I know bulky's not always the thing, but typically, if something's not bulky, it's not going to be as strong. And somebody said a while ago you're usually on the top, so I moved you up there. By the way.
Oh, I didn't even notice
Yep. Yeah, I just did it real quick while you were distracted.
that.
You probably didn't even feel it.
Apparently, I don't know. Normally, those whole elevator rides get to me.
Uh,
Chris,
Chris, check your spam, Chris. If you're not getting the confirmation,
we got a question here from Budget Merch asking, I've been interested in the X-Tool F1 on my want list for a while, but wondering if it will serve me well, or if I might be better with the 20 watt Raycus Max. Any thoughts? So I've got the X-Tool F1, and I've used it quite a bit, even taken it to a couple shows, and that's really where it shines. It's fairly compact and allows you to do quick marking and engraving on the spot, and it's got the full shroud around it, so that works really well. That being said, the metal marking part of it is really just a 2-watt IR. It's really going to be limited to marking. You're not going to be doing any depth of engraving, and if you're trying to do more like the color stuff, it's going to take some time. So if you're looking for a shop-based machine and you want a little more flexibility, and you're really worried about just solely doing metal, you might want to definitely step up and do a bigger, machine, like you say, a 20-watt. But if you're looking for portability, something you can take to shows, sell on the spot, it's hard to beat something like the F1 that's somewhat compact and has that kind of protection shroud. Because that's one thing that people are going to be a little touchy about is, you know, bringing a class 1 laser somewhere is not going to fly in some areas. They're not going to let you run that, because of hazards to other people. So, um, it's really going to be great at marking, and you're not going to be doing a whole lot of cutting with it. It does have both the blue light and the IR, so you can do leather, wood, and others. So it gives you that flexibility, and it's nice. But really, for me, it's the machine that you take to the show versus the one you run in the shop.
Yeah. Okay, I did confirm it does send out a auto reply. So if I win the drawing, guys, I'll just go to the next one. But I just signed up for it. It did send me a confirmation. Then you have to click on the email. That's why. And if you haven't done that, guys, check your email. Look at the spam folder. It should be from Clack at theclackshack.com, but some folks are saying it got caught in their spam folder. There's a confirmation link on there that you need to click to confirm that you entered the correct email address. If you didn't get that, go back, re-enter it, but you got to hit that confirmation link in your email to be eligible for it to add your name to the list. That's why it is showing 252 entries, but only 216 contacts, is because 40 people apparently did not confirm. I didn't know that was a step. Apologize for that. But that's why we're doing it later in the live. You got plenty of time. Pull your email up. Go to find that email, probably in your spam folder if you're not seeing it in your inbox, and click that link confirming that that is your email address. And that's just to keep like robots and stuff from entering the drawing. That's the only reason that's there. Because even if a robot sends me 100 email addresses, they're not going to be able to enter unless they know to click that link and confirm. And robots don't do that. So hopefully they don't. If they do, maybe we'll figure that out. But yeah, and that's one reason why we didn't open up with the drawing, was just to make sure everybody had it understood. Because like I said, I want everybody to have a chance at it. So if you haven't hit the confirmation, go to your email real quick and smash that confirmation button. Oh yes, it went to 236 now. So some of y'all listened, because it went all the way up to 236 with 270 entries. So yes, keep smashing that confirm button, just to make sure that that is a valid email address and it works. Because we don't want to be here all night spinning the wheel and it be people misspelling their email addresses. So that's part of the confirmation process. Yeah. But yeah, do that, guys. Do that if you hadn't already. And see, those people that didn't do that are like asleep right now waiting on a drawing, they're going to miss out. So, Coco, no, Max has a vest that he wears occasionally. But to be honest with you, with working dogs, especially doing tracks and stuff like that, the risk of a heat stroke outweighs the risk of getting shot with a dog, because the dog doesn't have enough sense to say, hey, I'm overheating, I need to stop. And I've seen more dogs get killed by heat stroke or get, like really messed up for life because of a heat stroke than I have getting shot, because usually I'm right behind him. So if somebody starts firing rounds, they usually going to quickly forget about him and pay attention to me. But he has wore one. There was one day we chased one guy that had actually already fired at some of the officers, and I put it on him that day. But it was kind of cool, and so the risk of heat stroke wasn't that good. And he wore it for several hours, but it gets him tangled up going through the woods. They don't know how to, they get caught on a fence or something. They don't know how to react. It creates a lot of hazards with animals with lesser intelligence. Da,
Hmm.
da, da. Well, everybody's saying the confirmation works, so that's good. That's good.
Well, it
We're
sounds like ETLC might be having a little bit of an issue not getting the confirmation.
uh,
So I don't know if you can go on the back end for people who can confirm
I
it here, but
it does it automatically.
uh,
What I mean, if he puts his email address, I can look and see if it's in there.
so that's
Uh,
that's just part of this. Everyone is we're trying to work out the bugs on a new thing and get get a good process going. So
Drop your email address up here, ET, and I can search through the contacts, but there's a bunch of them, and I recognized a few email addresses because some of y'all's email addresses reflect your YouTube handles and stuff. But a lot of them I didn't recognize. There is one local guy that put in that I did recognize his email address because I've sent him emails before. We're not going to say who he is, but his last name's Klein.
so Kane Acre Woodworks is asking if we have any thoughts on the ASMR P1 10 watt.
That was a good machine. I've actually had that one. I think didn't you have it too?
Yeah, we both had that one, and then they sent out their P2s to us a few months ago, and we both did. But yeah, we both had pretty good luck with those, and felt like it was a hotter 10 watt than the average at the time. Um, and it's kind of a tank of a frame. They
Yeah.
had a pretty hefty frame to it. Um, so I didn't have any problems with it. I actually loaned it out to a friend to use for a while. It kind of got him addicted, and now he's on his second one as well. Decided he wanted to jump up in power. So I'm not sure what the price is on them right now. If there's a really good deal on them, but looking at if you're interested in ASMR brand, their P2 33 watt is a really good one as well, and that adds automatic air to the mix as well.
Yeah, Klein has the P2, and he was telling me earlier he did a mailbox with it, and he said it did a really good job. He's been using it in his shop since I used it for a while, and then machines keep coming, and I wound up cycling it out. But I recommended it to him because he wanted another 30 watt. But guys, just to show you guys right quick, once you get that first email, there's only one email that you'll get. When you get it and you click that link, you should see this right here where it says thanks for confirming. That's the end of the process. Once you see that right there, uh, after you click that link, that's the end of it. You'll get the email. It has this. Click that, and it's going to say thanks for confirming, and you're done once you see that confirmation thing right there. So, yeah, I'm learning with you guys. So we'll we'll get through this together.
So
We'll get through it together. Hey,
Jeff,
take that email and tell it it's not spam for in the future because if there's any future drawings, maybe you won't have that problem.
yeah, I'm sure you'll never be spamming anyone with your mailing list.
I really don't have any plans to do that. No, no. If
Yeah,
it's
no.
anything, it'll be like big events. Because I do when I retire. This is my dream, guys. When I retire, I joke with my wife and tell her all the time I'm gonna go on my world tour. I do plan to travel, and I'm gonna go see Steve. One of my first trips is gonna be up to Steve's house, and so I will be like letting you guys know if we'll be in out of state or somewhere that a lot of folks. I don't expect anybody to drive 12 hours to see me, but you might drive 30 minutes if I'm close by. So
Now
one of
I'm
these
gonna start
days.
looking at Zillow here because I'm not gonna have to move. But anyway, I got a question here from Jeffrey Stone. He's thinking about upgrading from Atom Stack X20 to the new X-Tool 40 watt. Worth the money. It's more a hobby with some monetization on the side. So I'm gonna assume you're talking about the S1 with the new 40 watt versus the D1, um, and you've had a 20 watt Atom Stack, right?
I've had a 30 watt out of stack. I did. I think I. No, I think I started out with a 30 for the big frame. I had a 10 watt Atom stack, and then they moved me up to a
Okay.
30. Uh,
Um, well,
Atom Atom stack's not a. Now I actually do have an Atom stack 40 watt coming. I've got actually got tracking number on it. So, and it's supposed to be here the 26th. It'll be a 40 watt Atom Stack, the new X40, and it's switchable. It's 48 to 24 switchable, and it also has a 800 by 400 work area. So I'll have that within a week or so, up and going. Uh, the the S1, you talking about the X tool S1? The S1's a good machine. If you want something that's fully enclosed, the only limitation that and I've been running my S1 for a while, it's a good machine, does good results. XCS has came a long way. I see that scrolling ticker you got going up there. XCS has come a long way, and X Tools constantly, upgrading it. So the only big limit is that 12 each high work area. So if that's a limit for you that you don't want, you're going to need to look at getting the conveyor for it, and that's added expense. Now, like I said, you can overcome it with the conveyor. I haven't got the conveyor yet, so I don't know how well it works. I mean, they've been building printers with conveyors inside them for a long time, and those work pretty well. And I'm pretty sure that the workings of it are going to be very similar. So, I mean, it should be fairly accurate. I'm a little concerned with the roller if it uses like rubber wheels to move the material. That in my workshop environment where there's constantly sanding and dust and stuff like that, I'm a little worried that there may be a maintenance issue with those rollers. But if I ever do get it, I'll try it out, let you know if it becomes a problem. But the S1 is a great machine, other than I wish they'd have made the bed 16 inches instead of 12. I mean, 16 inches and 12 inches, that's a big game changer. You don't realize it until you start doing jobs on it or whatever. Atom Stack, Steve's had the Atom Stack. I know he had the A30. You had a bunch of Atom Stacks. I think you had more than I have. And they're good
I've
machines.
had a couple, yeah.
They're good machines. And they're simple. They are going to require an enclosure, a fan, all of the other stuff. So that's, you just got to figure out what works best for your workshop environment and your needs as far as work area. And if you're just getting into it and you don't have any products, then you just kind of let your work area dictate your products. But in my situation, I do have to have a larger machine for some of the stuff that I do, and I do on a regular basis that help keep the lights turned on here. So that's kind of a big deal for me. Now, I love the other machines, and I will use them at what they're good at, but so far nothing can compete with the 36 watt Acer I got over here. But I'm afraid this Atom Stack may. The Niji over here, if it was a 30 watt, it would compete with it. But this Atom Stack 40 watt, I may wind up having to scoot this Acer out of the way for a little while. So, and that's what I told Atom Stack. If they wanted a spot in one of my big enclosures, they had to beat this guy out. And they're like, okay, we'll send you the big version. And I'm like, oh, you have a big version? And they're like, yeah. Okay, send it.
There you go. Well, Scott, great to have you here as a first-time visitor. Glad that you found both of us. Definitely check out our channels for the various content. And yeah, if you've got questions, drop them in here. We try to get to as many of them as we can. But sometimes the conversation keeps going and we miss a few. But welcome to the show.
Yeah. Jim Castro saying that the conveyor, I'm guessing he's speaking from experience, or maybe he's just done some good research. It requires 8 inches of longer material to reach the rollers. And that makes sense because something's got to grip that material. So,
Yep.
Yeah, and like I said, that may be a downside for you. Like I said, there's so many good machines on the market right now that I don't think you can go wrong with any of the major brands as long as you understand what the limits are of the machines. It depends on whether you want to, all in one or not. Sharon, I will say this, Sharon, the good Lord has blessed me with the opportunity to play with the things that I love and that I enjoy, and not have to hear my wife angry at me for spending money on them. Because the first two that I bought, guys, I was almost on the couch the first couple of lasers that I bought. And so I don't have to sleep on the couch anymore. And that's good. When when I don't have to do that. Da-da. But yeah, like great machine as well. Like I said, but you got to have the limits. People are asking me about all these different machines. And I got one more trying it out right there. Whoop, whoop. That's actually from a CNC company, which so far I've found one flaw that if they'd have called me, I'd have told them it was a flaw. But anyway. Somebody's upgraded their CNC. All right. All right, I'm going to refresh the entries and see if y'all got it. Everybody's got confirmed yet. So, Steve, you can. Okay, we're not bad. We're at 290 entries with 266 actually showing up in the contacts. So y'all are closing the gap. Make sure to hit all those emails and hit that confirmation. Because we're 30 minutes in. It won't be long now. If we hit 300, I may dance.
Well, no, I'm not sure I'm not sure if that's an incentive for people to.
I might have to get up and dance. I'd be so happy. That's that's a big deal for me. Because I know, especially like right now, me and you talk a lot, and I know it gets rough sometimes juggling this and a full-time job and a family. So yeah, this is a cool Christmas present. 254 people in life. That's awesome, guys.
Yeah, that it is. Appreciate everybody being here on this Christmas Eve evening.
Oh, he said there's no need to dance. Oh crap. Let's see. Since where did it go now? Yeah, Steve. Klein was in here. See, I talked to him earlier today, and he was saying that he has been busy as a beaver up there in his workshop. Words done got out with him. Like I said, I started off just sending him my overflow, but now he's done got to generate his own customers, and he says he is staying very busy because he likes to come visit on the weekend some, and he hadn't come visit this weekend, so I was a little concerned about him, but he's been being real busy up there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So David Allen's asking if we hooked up a game controller to move her laser, so it was difficult. I've not done it on a laser. I've done it on some CNC machines because it's very useful when trying to, maneuver in to get to your home spot, as well as I use it on my Onefinity. I'll just manually run a surfacing bit over some smaller material rather than programming in a file. But I haven't done it on a laser. Primarily with that, I'm using absolute coordinates whenever I can to move it around. But I don't think you've done that either, have you?
No, but I mean, it really wouldn't be that difficult if you had like a game controller that you could map the keys and map. But no, I mean, my Stream Deck, I haven't tried using it. I use my Stream Deck to do stuff, but I haven't used a game controller. So I can't really speak to that, but I don't think I even have a programmable controller anymore, or I would try it. I know Steve writes music for his CNC. He did that one time.
That's you can get you can take MIDI files and convert them into G code, and then the stepper motors, by making the different movements, will play those tones. So that's that was just using that's like a script kiddie hack, But,
yeah. Well, we're at 294 submitted and 269 confirmed. So yeah, we're closing the gap. So y'all make sure check your spam folders, hit that button, and if you want to do it, if you don't think it went through and you want to try it again, feel free. Like I said, it's only going to let you put one. It will not let replicated email addresses enter the drawing. So there's no risk of that happening. Well, ET, I actually have posted a couple of times because one of the companies that I do business with here locally, and I don't know if he's in here or not, Todd Miso, he's a friend of mine, TNT Woodworks, I think is what the name of his business is. He's a police officer just north of me in another county. And he had messaged me. He was getting into it and starting out. And the business, one of the businesses, the trailer sales places that I do business with, went to like a administrative training type thing, and their numbers, their sales numbers were so high, and they had a lot of things that some of the other uh, areas, stores or whatever, asked them, well, what are y'all doing? And so they shared with them what they do on Facebook and how they do their social media campaign, and that they give gifts like housewarming gifts to their people that purchase. And they're like, where are you getting those from? And so the next thing I know, I had 5 different trailer sales places all over the state of Alabama wanting to know if I would take them on, and I couldn't because the one keeps me so busy that I can't keep up. So I sent a message to my buddy Todd, and I'm like, hey, go by and visit this place. It's up near where you work at, and see if you can get this job. And Todd has started working with them, and he's staying as busy with that one store as I have with mine. And there was 2 more stores in. One was in Alex City, Alabama. One was over in the edge of Georgia, and another one was down around Lakeview, Florida, I think it was, that were wanting to do the same thing. And I think I put a message out on my Facebook page. Anybody in the area, go visit them and talk to them about it. But yeah, anytime I get stuff like that, I'll pass it on, guys, because I can I can't take any more work. Uh, yeah, yeah. See her on the sawmill. Oh, wait a minute. Who said that? That's the wrong one. uh, she does go up to the sawmill occasionally. It's usually to tell me to take a break, drink some water before I get another kidney stone. And she has helped some stack lumber. I don't think she's ever actually cut a board with the sawmill though. She's more of a offloading, take the lumber off the thing. Uh oh, somebody said get ready to dance. Well, we finna hit 300. We better not hit 300. I can't dance, y'all. I got no rhythm.
Well, you promised.
A lot of money in less than. Oh, what Brandy telling me about? Uh oh.
Something about buying a sawmill without consultation with the
Oh, yeah, that
finance
one.
department, I believe.
Yeah, that one got me on the couch too. Yeah. But I told her the other day, I mean, I paid it off. I made enough money doing sawmill projects that first year that I got my money back. So, I mean, it's just like it never happened.
Like it never happened.
Yeah. I mean, if you get the money back, right?
Sure.
I'm trying to go through the comments. Everybody, Merry Christmas, everybody. What's up, Scott? How are you? Uh, no, that's that's the only truth. What's she talking about? Congrats on making 200 plus. Oh yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. Like I said, 245. That's a good number. We hit 250 for a couple of minutes there. Oh, I guess I
Yeah.
got a little too excited for people when I'm off.
So this isn't a question we get too often, but we have been dabbling with 3D printers on our channels, and I know I've played with a few. But Michael Celix is asking which 3D printer would you recommend? He's
Oof.
never used one before.
Oh, well, it's a learning curve. I'll tell you that. And the more expensive machines probably give you a better result with less user input. So, like Brian said, Bamboo Labs is kind of like for what the average person is going to purchase. Bamboo Labs is probably the premium. Creality makes really good machines, but you need to develop a good understanding of how it works. And eventually, you probably will want to upgrade from a Creality. I catch myself wanting to, but then I think about what I do with mine, how often I use it, and I'm just like, I'm going to keep what I got for right now. But if I was going to try to do like small scale business printing, I would definitely go ahead and get one of the Bamboos and be done with it. Because I've watched a lot of videos. I've watched a lot of guys that do professional 3D printing stuff, and that seems to be everybody's go-to. But they are a little bit pricier than some of the other hobby grade stuff. The Comgros and the Crealities are simple. They will do it. They're not going to do it real fast. The faster you try to go, the less likely you are to have a quality product. So that's where some of these other machines excel. And I think the one you guys does a really good job, but I haven't had
Yeah,
experience with that one.
yeah. So I mean, I haven't used one, but I have friends who have them, and I know a lot of people have bought them. But I would say, yeah, if you got some money to invest, and they're not necessarily that more expensive. They've expanded their line. Their Bamboo Labs P1S is right around $700. They've got their new one that I've seen a few mixed reviews on, good, bad, and otherwise, with their A1 at 200 or 300 and $400. So on up to their flagship, their X1 Carbon with the multi-filament spools. You could spend, close to or over 3 grand on that if you want their whole kit. But they're definitely kind of the benchmark right now, and a very good printer. And that's part of it, is that if you're not willing to spend the time really learning how to make the tweaks and the adjustments, you're going to want to spend the money to get a printer that takes a lot of that guesswork out of it. So
Yeah.
um, it's when I started looking at Bamboo Labs, it was basically the X1 was the option, and it was like $1,300. Now that's come down a little bit. I think that's down about 1,200 now on up, but definitely worth the money there if you can. But their P1S is kind of their mid grade at $700. Uh, Actually, they've got one even at $600 without the multi spool thing. It's a pretty good printer, and hard to go wrong with that one. So
Yeah. Well, right now I've got the Ender 3 version 2 Neo, which I have upgraded the extruder and put a sonic pad on it. And it does a really good job. I can run faster speeds than a stock machine can. But I have found that if you start going too crazy and getting too greedy with the speeds, that your finished product deteriorates a lot. So basically, I just bump my speeds up just a little, but enough to where I still get good, solid parts and stuff when I print things. And I've been happy with it so far. Because, like I said, I use it for, limit switch covers, cable management, like clamps and straps and stuff like that for the lasers. If I need to make a little holder for something, I could draw it up in CAD real quick and 3D print it. For what I'm using it for, most of my prints are small things. So I really don't have a need for anything big. And normally I start the print job in the house, and then I come out here and go to work, and I'm using the Sonic Pad. I can actually watch the printer from one of my monitors in the shop, and so it works well for me. And it's small because it's in the house. I don't have a whole lot of real estate in there that I can be stacking stuff around. So I got my little office corner over there, and that's where my 3D printer sits.
yeah. So I've the latest one I've got is the Cheedy Tech X Plus 3, and they're a decent company. They definitely have the higher speed printer. They're a pretty big build volume. They actually have one bigger than the one that I have, and
Oh,
so far I've had a lot of luck with it, and it is much faster than my old Enders. But it's definitely not as mainstream as the Bamboo Labs or even the Prusa printers. So hard to like I say, I've been using it quite a bit. My family's been using quite a bit. I haven't had a lot of trouble with it. They did have some earlier issues with the first run of them, but they seem to have fixed those. So definitely something to look at. But it's not a whole lot cheaper than that than the Bamboo Labs P1S. It's got a little bit bigger build area, but um, you know, like I say, if you're in that price range, I would take a serious look at the Bamboo Labs.
yeah. Michael, eh, it's got to be spam, man. It's got to be. Uh, if you can check your spam filter or junk, and if you're using, I will say this: if you're using Microsoft Office, turn off focused view and put it on. What is it? What do they call it? Other or focus view really messes. I don't know why Microsoft thought that was a good idea, because it's basically a spam filter that you don't know is a spam filter. So if you open up Outlook and it goes to focused view, turn focus view off, and a lot of times you'll see emails that you didn't know you had. We have that problem at work. So we have a wonderful IT company that does not understand that some of our emails look like junk email to their computers because they come to 300 people. But yeah, so I don't think it's anything broken with the system. It's got to be something with your junk folder, and I know that can be a real pain. I don't know why Clack at the Clack Shack's not. It's just getting flagged for junk. unless it's just because it's an auto reply. I don't know what that. I don't know what that is. Yeah, Scott agrees with me. Focus view is junk. That was a big fail on Microsoft's part. We've had some people
Yeah,
miss very important emails because of that.
yeah, yeah. So, Scott Kershaw is asking, do either of us have 3D printing videos to support laser stuff? And I know we both have put a few out. I did. I more often will integrate it into other videos, not so many standalone ones. But I created a pen jig for the X Tool F1, and I know you've done like your camera jig and other things, your camera mount.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, there is some sprinkled throughout. I
Yep.
know both of us have, as we get ideas, we definitely want to, expand that and add it into the channel more. But we're both of us are kind of primary laser people that
Yeah.
that like to branch out into CNC and 3D printing as much as we can. So
Yeah, like these little guys, these are cable management clips for the machines that, like the Sculpt Fun and some of the other ones that have the little channel in the side. You stick that in there and turn it, and then you have a place to put your wires so you can do cable management with it. This is actually, this was like a prototype version one of a switch cover for uh, limit switches on a Sculpt Fun S30 because the switch was literally right there, and I kept almost bumping into it, and I was afraid I was going to break the little metal leg off of it. So I made this to just kind of shield it from getting bumped. Now, if you drop the machine, this probably isn't going to help, but it did help for that. Uh, these I come up with these for the S1 to hold the honeycomb still. They have a little lip that catches the honeycomb. Most of mine is just like when I see a need on a machine, and I had a camera mount in here because I had this camera that I was going to use, but Klein came over and 5 finger discounted from my 3D printed parts box. Uh, but I made a mount kit for these little cameras so you can put them in your enclosure and use them like that for viewing what's going on inside the machine, and just stuff like that. Oh, and there's this random whistle when I was learning. I made a whistle. And then I wanted to see if I could, well, that went bad. Then I wanted to see if I could make a hinge that actually worked after I printed it, and I did. So that was cool. I've never used these hinges, but one day I might need them for something. Let me get this other one I dropped. But yeah, it's a good 3D printer is a good tool. Like I said, like some people are saying, in conjunction with your lasers, focusing tools. If you need to make a new focusing tool, stuff like that. I mean, they're cool to have. They're handy. But now there is a learning curve, so be prepared. Oh,
yeah.
turn the color.
So let's see here. What else we got? Shane recently pulled the trigger on a Creality Falcon 22. Looks like today, first laser. So I know you've had that one.
It's right there.
Yeah. So it was a pretty good machine. You like that one that came out, right?
Yeah, I mean, I still like the machine. It's just, let's face it, guys. If I got to pick between a 20 and a 30, I'm going to go with a 30. Klein was using it, and he traded the Falcon in on the P2 that we were talking about earlier. But yeah, Justin, my whistle does work, actually. But yeah, it's a good machine. It has automatic air assist. They did a really good job with the cable management. It actually has metal clips built into the frame, which is something that I really liked about it. The air assist, like I said, everything on it done what it's supposed to, but it also has that shroud. I'm not a fan of shrouds that can't be taken off. But you know, all in all, it was a good machine. And as long as you've got flat material, the shroud's not as big of an issue. But just like this guy over here I've been testing, can't take the shroud off of it, and the basswood they sent me with it looks like a potato chip. So I don't know why they do it. Oh, somebody asking about a camera with Lightburn. Yes. Using cameras with Lightburn. If you're talking about positioning cameras. Let me swap over. Give me just a second. You see if there's anything else. I'm gonna swap machines right quick where I can demo this because I'm
Yeah.
connected. I'm connected to that machine on the table over there right now.
So while he's doing that, just a reminder in the description of both of our videos, you'll see a link to the giveaway that David's going to be doing here probably within the next half hour. You'll need to sign up there with your email. Hopefully, you'll get the confirmation email. You can click on that and you will be entered. So um, make sure you've followed through on the confirmation, and we'll be doing those giveaways shortly.
And check your spam filter. All right, so well, I'm gonna swap over to screen share and then just run through this real quick. We're not gonna go real in depth. I'm just gonna kind of give you an idea of what what I use them for and what the expectations should be. So here we go. Screen share over here. If I can get it working. Steve, hey Steve. Where's my light burn? Light burn. There it is. All right, so this is my longer B1. This is actually inside there. You can see there's my material. Uh, this, however, is the camera that's mounted to the roof of the machine that I use for positioning. Now, if I were engraving this piece of material, or let's say I'm putting a design on this material, to me it's easier to come in here and drag me a little frame like so, make it a tool line, and then let's swap you over to the other enclosure camera here. And then when I frame this tool line, well, hang on, I gotta home the machine first. Uh, so many things to do. All right, so I built a frame around that little piece of scrap material right there. Once the machine homes, I'm gonna frame it. So yes, that machine moves. All right, so it's not 100% accurate. Looking at it from right here beside it, which y'all can't really see, it's way out of focus for one. But I'm a couple of millimeters off with my alignment, but fairly close. Let me focus this guy right quick.
Yeah, and, with most cameras, the manufacturers are going to tell you that, you know, within a couple of meters is acceptable. With Lightburn, you can do some offsets to try to dial in it a little bit, but you'll always have just a slight aberration, especially as you get out to the extents. It's going to have it off just a little bit. But
Yeah. So just to give you guys an idea, if this was a piece of material, and let's say I wanted to cut out something small, let's say I wanted to cut out a little small bull. All right, I take that bull, bring him in here, and I don't want to waste a bunch of material. So this is where cameras come in handy. So I can take my little bull right here and move him up here to my work area. And you can position items better, in my opinion, using a camera than you can any other way. So we'll put him right there. Cuts. 15's a little hot. We'll go 8. All right, air assist is on. And we'll cut this guy out right quick. I'm gonna need some exhaust. This is where this comes in handy for placement.
while that's cutting out, Scott's asking if I ever added a camera to my enclosure. And, when I built that, I wasn't originally planning for a camera. I was going with a compact. But I did buy a fairly wide angle, 180-degree one that I'm hoping I can give it a shot one of these days. Just haven't had the time to yet. So it'd probably be the thing where I'd have to drill down through the top and just barely stick it through. But
Yeah.
I hope to do that and/or modify it at some point.
All right, so once I cut the piece out, I'm gonna hit the update button without moving anything, just to give you guys an idea of where the cut actually went. So if you look right there, you can see It's not perfect, but I successfully got it on that piece of material. So that's where these things really come in handy. That's where they excel. And you got a cow. But that is why I like cameras. And I know what you're saying, guys. Look at that clean cut. Aha. No charring. Ah. That's right. Proper air assess, proper exhaust. We cut this machine off. Ugh. All right. Am I still in the live? Did I lose it?
Yep. Nope.
Okay. Woo!
You're
Scared me.
here.
It got quiet. But yeah, so like that's to me the accuracy that you saw just now. That is a really really good accuracy for a camera. Uh, it's not going to be perfect every time. It's a tool, and it saves you time by trying to get in there and frame and move your material and frame and move your material. It's really just a time saver. And it does also aid in being able to look at the image and go, is that too gaudy? Do I need to make it smaller? Need to make it bigger? Because you kind of get to preview it before you actually burn it. So that's my 2 cents on that. Let's check the thing and see how many people's got cleared up with that confirmation email. Because it's what 8:03, so we're in the second half.
Getting close to that time.
Yep. 315 to 285. So there's still, what, 30? You know, I'm terrible at math. Still 30 that hasn't confirmed everything. So, y'all, hurry up. I'm going to put it off for a second longer for you that's having trouble with your email. Yeah, the whistle does work, and that's why it's in the shack, Brandy said, because I was blowing it in the house. I have bigger boxes for other stuff. That's just the box that I put it in. I make lots of boxes. I've actually got a brand new box over here for the Jinmitsu machine that I just made. Because I make a box for every machine to keep all the spare stuff in. And the test grids and stuff.
Yeah. You know, another 40-ish people, and we get to see a little dancing.
Yeah. Chris, I didn't see any differences. I just had to calibrate the camera for that Jinmitsu sitting over there, and I didn't see any differences in the camera setup process or anything. Oh, I could be wrong.
Yeah. Robert, the drawing is David put out a video earlier. He's putting up a few Amazon gifts from a Beaver fan to a 500 by 500 honeycomb to a gift card.
Or PayPal.
Forget what else you had.
These
What's
glasses, the
Oh,
dual
yeah.
the dual
The-
glasses.
The
I felt
nice
like that was
laser-shaped
something good
glasses.
because, especially with the IR module, and somebody asked me earlier about the IR module, which I don't have. But the reason is I've got the fiber over here. I don't really see me using the IR module a whole lot. If they wanted me to test it out, I'd be willing to, but I'm not going to be trying to get it because I use the matter of fact I had I had a Christmas present brought by today to get engraved on the fiber, and it does a really good job. And it's like literally by the time I pushed the button and walked over to the item because I moved the fiber over there, it was done before I could get there. So I just don't see me needing the IR module right now. You might know that.
Digital printed tile. You know, something something to have to look into. Definitely want to know what your material is or what anything that's been put onto it would be. But don't know that I've played around with that much.
Which machine are we talking about? Y'all talking about this one?
I think that was the one you were just showing, yeah.
It's my latest enclosure that I built. It's 32 by 32 footprint on the inside. I had to build it because they kept getting bigger with the machines, and then all of a sudden it went back smaller. But it's 32 inches by 32 inches floor space inside there. It's got a, if you can see it, the honeycomb is actually recessed in the floor. So I don't lose any Z-axis travel when I'm running the machine because the honeycomb is recessed in the floor, and it's got. I use a small shop vac for evacuation from the fumes from the floor to the outside here, and it works really well, and it keeps it fairly clean. The machine does need cleaning. I haven't cleaned it since I did May's big job. That's why it's got all that dust on the fan right now. But but it does allow a lot of room to get in there and work, and you should be able to see it in a lot of my videos that I do as well. But it's 32 by 32 footprint. It has the arched door over here. Uh, Hang on, let me get my little Logitech here. I can show you a little better. Did you take your Dramamine or whatever today, Steve?
What? Oh, hold on.
Your motion sickness. But this is what the enclosure looks like, and you probably see it in a lot of my videos. But when you open the door, yeah, there's extra. I got like extra storage space in here, and it is very nasty. It does. There's the camera mount that I 3D printed right there. It has an automatic air assist relay that runs off of shop air. I have an external water separator, and then I have one inside the enclosure in case there's a temperature difference. And because I had a problem with water, and I got really irritated with it. But yeah, and you can see the honeycomb is built into the floor of the machine, so I don't lose any Z-axis at all. And my interchangeable jig kit is screwed to the floor of this enclosure, and I can easily change that out with any of these other machines that are in the shop if it goes down or if I just want to use a different machine. So, but yeah, but that's what she looks like right there, and it's a plywood build. And hey, there's Al again. And this is where I sit when I'm working, guys. This is Clack Shack Command. So, anyway, back to the other camera. But yeah, it's my enclosures. I try to make them as functional as I can, and I like them beefy. I like them to be able to like mount things to them, use them as shelves, and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, there you go. But somebody said they're waiting to see the dancing. Some of y'all worried me because I think y'all might actually be wanting to see me dance. But I got.
Come on, it's not like anybody's going to see it or that it's going to be recorded for posterity.
Yeah. Robert, the drawings, the Engraver fan is what I run, and this is stuff that, like I said, I didn't want to send y'all no junk. The Engraver fan is what I'm running in my big enclosure. It's a 6-inch fan that I've got choked down to a 4-inch exhaust, and it works because it has variable speed. We just upgraded Klein's 4-inch fan to a 6-inch, and that's what he's running as well. Both of us been running them for a while, having good results with them. No problems with any kind of backflow on the smoke or anything. With it being variable power, you can adjust it if you don't have enough. Like if you don't have enough air inlet, you can actually slow it down if you need to, or speed it up, or whatever to make it work a little better. And then I've got a honeycomb, 500 by 500 honeycomb, which is what's in there is a 500 by 500, because most of these machines have a 400 by 400 work area, and it just leaves extra space around them. So if you have a machine that's 430 and you got a honeycomb that's 400, it just doesn't make sense. So it's a 500 by 500 honeycomb, a pair of these dual band, dual frequency glasses that will protect your eyes from diodes as well as IRs. And you ain't got to swap glasses and make that conscious effort, as well as $50, either an Amazon gift card or I can PayPal you or however you want it. Also, so, but the link is in the. I think somebody just dropped the link, or Steve dropped the link a few minutes ago, or I did. And just make sure that you check the confirmation email and check your spam folder, because I don't want anybody to miss out because the thing got in their spam folder. Hey, there's a new hashtag. That's a hashtag I can get along with right there. I did send Xtool an email when I found the problem with the tumbler thing that everybody kept asking me about. And I let them know that if they had any P2s or any more modules they wanted tested, I'm open to it. So I haven't heard back from them.
It's hopefully they send you something soon. Either that IR module or maybe the CO2.
There you go. Brian, if you have friends at Onefinity, tell them, they could give me a little, like I don't know, a discount or something. That would help because it hurts. I'm trying to figure out when I'm going to buy it. I got to wait for tax time right now because I don't need to be broke right at tax time. Uh,
Uh,
Jennifer's asking about the CNC. Right now, I mostly easel because I like to design in Lightburn and export it over into easel and just assign cut depths to it. But I also use VCarve for some of the more complex stuff. And I'm trying to force myself to use VCarve more because I know if I get a Onefinity, I'm going to have to use VCarve because I got to export a G code. So I'm trying to learn more in VCarve, but I'm still a total rookie when it comes to all that.
I mean, that's the nice thing about VCarve is you could import DXFs and SVGs. So, you know, much like we're finding with some of these other lasers, they don't always have the best design software, and you end up using what you have that works and then just importing it. So, there's a question from Justin that you might be able to answer.
Uh, well, that you can. Uh, there are risks associated with it. I'm just going to give you the me and Steve have had this discussion before I even did mine. When you pull air in from outside, if you live in a really humid environment, really cold environment, or a really hot environment, you can expose your machine to, the outside weather by doing that. So you could either make your machine get really hot if you live in Arizona, or if you live in like South Louisiana, it can be really, really humid in your enclosure if you're doing that. So there are things you need to consider, but I do it in my big enclosure that I run all day because if I don't, it sucks all my air conditioning out or all my heat out, and my shop gets hot or cold. And I think I've showed this before, but we'll do it again. Give me a minute. Let me get my little camera over here.
So, yeah, it's something I'd love to do to not lose my heat, but in the middle of winter up here, I would definitely not want to suck in sub-zero temperature to my laser and risk that shock of temperature and the possible condensation that's going with it. Same
All
thing
right.
in the winter or summer here, we get a lot of humidity, and that could just be the inverse. So,
Yeah, you get ready yourself, Steve. I don't want to make you throw up. All right, so as you can see in the back of my enclosure right there, and yes, my window's dusty, guys. It's a working shop. You see how that little thing's like half up and half down? Well, watch what happens to it when I open the door right here. Let me try to aim it. So basically, what that is when I let the lid down, it seals up and creates vacuum inside the enclosure, which opens that little valve and lets the air from outside come into the enclosure. But when I raise the lid, it closes so that my air conditioning and stuff don't rush out that hole. So that's my redneck design right there, and it just opens and closes with the lid. So if I open this up, and I can sit you, maybe I can sit you over here. Woo! See, I told you you needed your Dramamine, Steve. Oh, that ain't gonna work. But but as I close, the lid opens. So it's pretty simple design. Basically, it just works off of vacuum. Uh, when the lid is open, the machine can breathe from the air inside the shop. Therefore, there's not any air pulling through there, and it lets the flap close. When I close the lid, it creates vacuum because it restricts any airflow coming from the shop, which causes it to open up. Kind of the same idea as the dryer ducts that blow outside your house, only it's inside. So, but anyway,
very cool.
yes, Gail. If I were to break out in a jig, I will give you some warning. But it will be PG. I don't. If I were to dance, it'll be PG. Now, it may be scarring for some of you adults, but it'll be PG. The giveaway will be here shortly. I don't know. We could actually start rolling some. I mean, whenever y'all want. I'm trying to make sure everybody gets in there because right now we still got a few people that are struggling with the verification email. Apparently, we've got, let's see, 320 that have clicked the link and put their email address in, and 294 that have confirmed completely. So, so some of you, if you haven't checked your email and hit that confirm button, uh, go do that. Just so that you can be in the giveaway there. Robert, sorry about that, man. I wasn't prepared. I didn't have a tripod set up or anything for that. So let me ditch Santa over here. Santa's kind of getting in the way. There we go. But but yeah, 263 Science Theater. Woohoo! Yeah, that's right. Brian, hey, it's all about the you know, sciencey stuff. That's all I can say. But if you
So
haven't liked, followed, and subscribed, do that now.
yeah, so yeah, maybe we'll kick that off in what next 10 minutes. Give us some time to make sure we get through all those, um, get through all the roles and everything.
All right. Hello, Brenda. How are you? Apparently, I guess is it her dad or girl or I don't know. I don't know if it's a daughter or what. No, Brian, we ain't doing math class. Y'all whoop me at math, especially Brian. And Chris was in there in Hobo's thing the other day, like doing like complex math equations, and I'm like, not my thing. Uh, yeah, Nick. I mean, it could be, and that's why I told people that be in the live because I did not know how well this was going to work. Now I've pretty much, yeah. I don't know if that means it's your daughter or you're like your girlfriend or I got girls too, so sometimes I was like my girls. So that just up here. But either way, hello, Brenda. Uh, we the people. That's. I mean, I have done some stuff different. Most of the only thing that I've changed really is the air intake. I did add that, and I did move. I moved my air inlet down where I used to have that little duct thing that I tried for a while that didn't work. I had my fan where my fresh air inlet is now. I didn't like that, but at the time I already had a hole in the wall there, so that's what I went with. But when I decided to add the fresh air intake, I used that hole for the inlet, and then I used the bottom for the outlet, and it works much better that way. It stays cleaner in there. 265 is what I'm showing viewing completely. That's
That's
everybody.
been there pretty steady for the last little while. So
Still ain't hit 300 though.
I
So,
think we're
huh.
I think we're safe from the dancing.
Mm,
So
yeah. But yeah, guys, like I said, I appreciate it. And if you got questions, throw them out there. If we missed your question, throw it out there again. Uh, so, uh, we the people, that was one of the best things I could have ever done with this enclosure. It's come in handy so many times. Doing tumblers, ammo cans, a couple of like big boxes, toolboxes, mailboxes. I mean, you name it. If I have to raise a machine or lower a machine, it's getting done in here because it's just so much simpler. I can raise it and lower it at the push of a button. It's like I have a big expensive CO2 and I don't. Unlike Steve. Steve has one.
Brad's asking if I feel like I could use the We Create on a daily basis, and
Mm.
you've had one as well. I think you said Klein's absconded with it recently, but um, so I've been playing with this one for a little bit, and just actually released my first video on it today. It's a little lengthy because I do go over some of the caveats and such. Um, the laser itself is a pretty decent laser, and as long as you can kind of work within about 16 by 11, it's going to work pretty well. Where I hope they improve upon it is the software. Um, it has a lot of feel for the Xtool creative space, but it's missing so many features, so many design tools and such that I feel you're really forced to do, unless you're just doing like I want to put some text on something in maybe a very basic shape. You really have to do your design work outside of the software and then import it. But now I'm also finding in some of the work I was doing for today, if you're trying to do exact measurements, I noticed both SVGs and DXFs were not importing at the correct measurements. They were getting enlarged by a good 25 to 30%. So you kind of have to watch that and make sure you have a key to be able to resize it back down. So they've got some bugs in the software they got to work out. But as far as being something safe and simple and all, a all enclosed unit that you don't really need to add a honeycomb, add an exhaust fan, add air assist to, it's pretty good at that. And the camera, I was able to get it calibrated to within under a millimeter for the most part. So it's a good machine. Just the software needs some work.
Yeah, it's not a bad machine. Like I said, the work area is kind of small, but you as far as the design software, you can't do anything too complex in it. But if you're going to be like building your files and migrating them over using G code, or if you're just going to stick with ready-made files that you can download from their store or whatever, it does a good job. And for the price, it's not terrible at all. I mean, it's a pretty good deal because you get everything built into one machine. Tumblers, it seems to do them pretty well. I still haven't understood why they have that dead area on tumblers. I think that'll probably get fixed pretty soon because a lot of people have been fussing about that. But I did some tumblers with it. It done a good job. Klein has it now, and he's been using it basically as for tumblers because he has some tumbler orders come in. But it's not a bad machine, and he hasn't come back to me with anything bad about it. He hasn't tore it up yet, so that's good. But anyway, who what?
Um, Ford on YouTube is wondering, got a great deal on a D1 Pro 10 watt as his first laser. Any cons or issues to be aware of? As far as the Xtool Pro, they use inductive limit switches. So you got to be very careful that you get your cable management so that doesn't get in the way when it's trying to home. If that's kind of sitting off, it'll actually bump into the cables and not be able to home, and then it might kind of sit there rattling trying to home. And with that, you also don't want to have your project too close to your limits. It'll sometimes get false trips of your limit switches with that. The other thing I would just make sure is that if it didn't come with air assist, make sure you get one of them. I think a lot of the pros maybe came with the cone, but not necessarily the pump. So I would definitely make sure you get air assist running on that. Otherwise, you're going to be burning through cover lenses pretty quick. So other than that, pretty decent laser to start out with, especially if you got a good deal on it. I still have my 20 watt Pro I use quite a bit. And, they have really good software that they've developed. It started out kind of like we were just talking about the WeCreate software. It started out with a lot of desires, and they kept adding to it. So, I think if you got a good deal on it, you're happy with it, it's definitely a great one to start with.
My very first laser was a Xtool D1 standard. It wasn't a Pro. There was no Pro when I bought mine. I bought it right after they came out, and I've still got it. It still works. It does not have limit switches like the Pro does, so that's a plus with the Pro. If you use a return to location, that will help you make sure you get consistency when you're batching out things. But I've got some videos on that. You can go search mine or Steve's content for D1, the keyword D1, and find a lot of helpful information on using those things. Tammy P, what's a good laser cutter that cuts everything, but not 6K? And by everything, if you're including metal, there's not going to be one machine. Because in order to cut metal, you got to have a fiber and fibers don't do well with wood or organic materials. So to cut everything, you're going to have at least two, maybe three different wavelength machines to pull that off. And to cut any significant amount of metal, you're going to really have to spend a lot more than $6,000. So,
Well, you get too big, then you're going to be looking at a plasma cutter, and there are some hobbyist type machines out there that'll do it. But yeah, it's a jack of all trades in this is always going to not, you know, it's not going to be as good as having kind of the specific machine for those. So it's going to be tough to find one that fits that bill.
somebody asked if we do 3D scan. I do not. I have considered it. I would love to get me a 3D scanner to play with, but that just hasn't been real high up the list of things to purchase. But I think it's cool. But I think the technology still got some growing to do before it's going to be as usable as they kind of portray it to be. Because the camera technology right now to get a really, really good one is way more expensive. But I think in another year or so, I think they'll get a lot more affordable with a lot better results from what I've seen of watching videos, people using them online.
Sure. So, yeah, Tammy clarified she's looking for acrylic and wood. You're going to want to be looking at CO2 unless you're just sticking with the darker opaque acrylics, and then you can get away with the diode. But if you want to get into the transparent or the clear, definitely a CO2 is going to be the way to go.
Lakeside, I don't have files for plans per se, but on my website, I've got my enclosure Zilla and my other basic enclosure build, kind of a blueprint kind of thing. And people have told me that's not the best in the world, but guys, that's not what I do for a living. I drew it out best I could to give you an idea. But they're on my website. If you go to my website and go to shop with the Clack Shack, they're on there for free, but I didn't have anywhere else to put them but under the shop tab. So you can go to theclackshack.com and download those directly, or you can do it from the Laser Engraver community group, which me and Steve frequent. So, with the people, I've seen some of the CNC Lab stuff. I actually looked at getting one of their machines, but I'm just not. It just doesn't look beefy enough. No offense. I know some folks that have them. Jack in the shop has really been trying to sell me on them. A couple other people, but I want it to be to where I can plow through there until I break a bit and not hurt the CNC. So I'm hoping that don't happen, but I don't want to tear my CMC up. I would rather it break the bit before it tore it up.
All right. Well, it's 8:30. What are you thinking on the drawing?
Yeah, I guess we could go ahead and get that. I'm trying to catch up on these comments and these questions.
All right. Well,
if you had to choose a laser for doing tumblers, which one would you choose? I currently do submission. I think there's a lot of good ones. And y'all know I like the Atom Stack chuck better than I do any of them, but I'm really kind of digging the way that I've got my S1 set up right now. It's doing a really good job on tumblers. I also have got a chuck for my fiber that I've been using, and it's doing a really good job. So I'm torn. Atom Stack makes really good chucks for doing tumblers, but if you're doing smaller stuff, the X Tool RA2 works really well also. Which one would you choose?
I would, if I was wanting to do specifically tumblers, I would take the Atom Stack rotary, find a laser that I can just commit to it, and I would just set it up for that. Whether it's with a jig or some other fixture, I would definitely just create a dedicated one where I know it's centered, and all I have to do is, level the cup and go.
Yeah.
Probably something in the 20-watt range, just to give me some flexibility between stainless steel and powder coating. So.
Yeah. Like I said, the Atom Stack A24 would be a really good one, I think, for doing just tumblers, because it comes with the new RA1, RA2 stuff. Greg Wilson, yeah, I've got the L8 Genmitsu over here. I'll be doing a video on in the next few days. So far, I'm pretty impressed with Genmitsu's build. There's a few things that they kind of messed up a little bit on, but it's nothing that you can't fix or work around. As far as mostly because they slapped the the metal backer to the back of the honeycomb, and I'm getting micro explosions on a brand new honeycomb. So that was a little bit of a fail.
Mark, I haven't seen them yet, but I see you said you put them on Thingiverse. I'll definitely check those out and give them a shot.
All right, let me go ahead and get last call in. So last call for entries. I'm fixing to hit refresh and see how many there is. But if anybody hadn't done it, you better throw a hand wave or something up, because I'm fixing to pull this list from the server. Showing 335 people have put entries, but only 306 have fully confirmed. So if you have it, I'll give you like 5 more minutes, and I'm gonna pull the list down while Steve talks about something, and I'll get everything processing. But let me just step outside for just a second.
Well, I just dropped the link in my chat again for anybody. I know it's at the bottom, or it should be near the top of each of our descriptions. So go ahead and click that, and hopefully check for the drawing email, a confirmation email, and entered to win some of the prizes that Clack's giving away. They're all right around $50, and definitely give him thanks for pulling this together here tonight. It's something we've been talking about. So did I remember right? He's giving away your choice of a 500 by 500 honeycomb, a Beaver exhaust fan, some laser safety goggles, as well as there's one other thing I'm forgetting. Anyway, you got to enter in there. You'll got to be here live, and you'll be able to pick your prize. And if you're international or whatnot, he's even willing to send you an Amazon gift card or PayPal. So definitely get entered in that, as we're going to be doing this in just the next couple of minutes. So,
All right, yep. Last call, guys. If you hadn't made it in there, you better go ahead and throw your name in the hat. Oh, we'll get out of here, because we're at 281. I can't dance.
Yeah, you gave us a nice echo when your headphones disconnected. So
sorry about that. I had to go get a bottle of water. It's raining out there too, by the way, guys.
Yeah, well, I think that's the same for both of us. But board on YouTube, I don't recommend the 3D printed nozzles, that the typical ones, because if anything goes wrong, they are kindling for fire. Now, there is one that I've seen some success with. It's from Geeks at Large. It actually uses a 3D printer nozzle and points at it from the side, so it's a little bit easier. But there are definitely some inexpensive for your 10 watt X tool. There are some inexpensive options that are just as good. As a matter of fact, I did an Amazon review on a Geek V1. I think the pump that comes with 1 or 2 nozzles that fit X tool is only around $50. So I would kind of stay away from the 3D printed ones and go with a metal one myself.
Comgrow makes one that has it's made for the D1, but it fits those. It fits a lot of the different machines. And it comes with a tip. And I saw another one today when I was looking through there trying to pick out some stuff to put in the drawing. That had a very X tool-ish looking nozzle, and those actually work really well. But the downside is you got to buy the pump and all to get that kit. So,
well, yeah, this is what I was talking about. I think it was right around $50. It comes with the pump. I mean, it basically is the X tool kit, but it does have I think it has a variable speed on it, but then it has the nice metal.
Yeah, that is what I like. I've even considered upgrading my Acer to that style cone. Now this new machine I got over here from Genmitsu has a very unique air assist cone. I haven't taken it off yet, but I also know it uses the same lenses because there's an extra one in the box. So, yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm interested in seeing that. I've even thought about getting me some aluminum and trying to CNC my own air assist nozzle. See how that worked.
Okay.
It might take a while, but I could make one. What I would do is I'd make it very minimalist, so that it wouldn't stick down to the material that much and cause an issue with grabbing stuff. And would probably do like multi-port air inlet instead of having one direction. That way it doesn't come out like a tornado.
Sure.
But if you hadn't, guys, I dropped the link again. Make sure to check your email and hit the confirmation on that email that you get, because if you don't, it's not going to put you in the drawing per se, because it has to verify that you're not a robot. And I'm doing this so that we don't have a bunch of robots sign up for the drawing and sit here all night and it not be a real person. And that's one more reason why I'm making you guys like throw a hand up, comment, wave at me or whatever, send me an email, something, is to make sure you're a real person. Because me and Brandy were talking about it. Some of our local folks have businesses, did a drawing the other day, and they got infiltrated. People were, trying to scam people and everything else. And I wanted to try to ensure that that didn't happen. So make sure you click that link, and you'll see a message that will pop up and will basically say, thanks for joining. And I'll show you what it looks like. And once you see this, you're good. So once you see that right there, where it shows the logo, it says, thank you for confirming at the bottom. You're done at that point. But if you haven't seen where it says, thank you for confirming, go check your email. It may be in the spam filter, but you need to, you need to tell your spam filter that anything from the Clack Shack is not spam. I don't know why I'm in the blacklist, but apparently I am.
I mean, he's got a good point there. Skynet has feelings too, so you're being very exclusionary. So.
Well, that's the way it is. All right, so it has been 5 minutes. I sure hope everybody's got a bit there. I don't really want to leave nobody out, but we're at 353 entered, 320. Cause them 30 people I guess they're just somewhere asleep, or it could be duplicates. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm fixing to pull it here in just a second. So anybody? Do I need to wait on anybody? All right. I'm finna download the list here. So Steve, find something interesting to talk about. Give me just a second, because I gotta extract this list and move it over to the program here.
Something interesting to talk about. Well, I did have someone reach out to me while I was talking with them. Might be interested in me doing some specialty screen printing for them. So I may be putting that X-Tool screen printer to use here shortly on some custom shirts and such for them, which will be interesting. I told them it'd be a good exercise for me. I am waiting to be able to purchase the extra of the frames and as well as the screens, but also want to play around with being able to clean off and reset one of those screens with the emulsion and see how well that goes, because I know a lot of people are interested in how reusable they are. So if you haven't checked that out, I did have a video released I think earlier this week on the screen printer, and then we'll be checking things out. I want to do some t-shirts and other stuff, so if anybody's got a good idea for a custom t-shirt, maybe something laser related, drop me a note. We'll see if I can come up with something good and play around with that. So how's it going? Right. You got your list ready?
Well, it says it's emailing it to me. I'm waiting on GoDaddy.
Well,
it took a couple of minutes earlier when I did my test runs today. It took a little while, but
all right.
I'll just be refreshing my email, waiting for it to pop up saying I got a new email, I guess.
I know we talked about this earlier, but down in both of our descriptions, there's also a link to the laser engraving community member map. Completely optional if you want, but it's kind of a cool thing we've spun up. There's a form you can put your name and or whatever, your screen name or a nickname, and then a location, just something that Google Maps will recognize. And then I refresh that as often as I can, usually at least once a day, but more during our lives. I know we've picked up looks like maybe a good 20 entries tonight. So if you'd like to put your pin on that map, check out that form, fill that out, and you'll be able to see who else is around you from this kind of cool group that we've got going between our two channels and the Facebook group. So
All right, I've
definitely
got the spreadsheet. I've just got to change it over, get all this unneeded information off of it so that we can run it through this little software. So yeah, we got a total of 322. So 322.
we also have 302 live viewers there. So I mean, I'm pretty sure
Oh my
that
God.
means you owe us a.
We'll think about that. Let me finish. I gotta finish what I'm doing, Steve. Quit distracting me. People are waiting on me here. Oh Jesus.
Well, hopefully it's the people that. Hopefully it's everybody joining in, so they're able to claim their prizes. As we did say, needed to be in the live, and so we appreciate everybody being here tonight. It's an awesome way to wrap up Christmas Eve here, as I imagine for some of us, Santa's flying overhead. Right? As
Is it really seriously? It is 302. Oh my gosh.
It is.
Oh, hang on. I gotta get the little picker thing pulled up now. I got that. I got the file. The file is downloaded. I've took everything out except for the email addresses. So hopefully this will open that. And
don't worry, Brian. I got you. We've
right.
got this recorded. You can't back out of the dancing. But we'll try to get the drawing done first, in case anybody wants to leave at that point. I won't blame them.
Let me see if I can. One more thing I need to do, because I don't really want to broadcast everybody's email address. So let me see if I can add a source here. Give me just a second.
Yeah. See, we got some local encouragement there for you to get your jig on.
Oh, that's not good. Hang on. Screen capture. Add source. Give me just a second here.
SFW, you made it back in time. He's just getting everything ready, and we'll be doing the giveaway shortly.
All right, let me get this. All right, so that way I can kind of hide everybody's stuff. All right, that works. I didn't want to broadcast everybody's email addresses, so let me see if I got everything working here.
All right, should we put you big screen?
All right, let me get this out of the way. I didn't realize it was already live. All right, so I've got it on here. Can we see it? Do I need to zoom it in? I wish I could zoom that in a little more. All right, so I've got a button right here I got to hit. And so we're going to take a roll here. Hang on, let me fix that. That's going to bother me. Let me fix this.
So now, if everybody likes giveaways, you should know that our friend Steve, Hobo at Wood, he does a live stream with Rich, LA Hobby Guy, and we've got Patrick with Laser Source Everything. And they are, if they hit, I think 250 in one of their upcoming live streams, they will be giving away another laser. So definitely check them out as well.
All right.
I gotta switch my headphones.
If I can get this thing to cooperate with me. All right. Well, I think that's about as big as I'm going to get it, so y'all can see it. All right. So we ready? Everybody ready? Looking at the comments. Everybody ready? Cross your fingers. Let's see what happens here. Let's make sure this works. 3, 2, 1. Uh-oh. Who's that? Somebody? Own up. Own up to it.
Westcon2@gmail.com.
Let me take a picture of this. I don't write. We got. Do we have verification that the person is in the building? We need verification. All right, I'll take a picture of it just in case they chime in a minute. The rule was you got to be here.
Yes,
that's
right.
Oh, there he is. There he is. He made it. All right, sweet. All right. So you can Westcon, the email that you received for your confirmation, you can send me one there if you want, and let me know, or you can decide what you want out of those list of things, and we'll get that to you. So that's one down. So we got 3 more to go. So let's see what happens here on number 2. So up. TMA444142 at AOL.com. I didn't know AOL still did email addresses. All right, Tim. I'm guessing. Tim? Anybody heard from Tim?
Yeah, we'll need to give him a few seconds.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a. Like I said, I'm gonna take a picture of it. But I just want to make sure Tim is in here. Tim, would you please raise your hand and step to the front of the classroom?
You're the next contestant on the Clack Shack.
All right, Tim A 444142 at AOL.com. Are you here, sir? All right, well, we got one no answer, so I guess we could at least go ahead and we know we could do one more, even if he does chime in a second. But Tim, if you're in the building, speak now. We don't want to leave you out. I'm going to go ahead and roll one more, and if Tim chimes in the next few minutes, we will we'll go back to that. We'll give him just a second. So here, this is going to be the third, potentially the second, but this is going to be the third spin. Jeremy at CircleCityAlarm.com. That looks like somebody's work address. I thought it said Circuit City. All right, Jeremy.
Jeremy at CircleCityAlarm.com. If you're in here, speak up and we'll record that.
Jeremy, man, some of these folks is like, don't be here. Don't be here. All right, Jeremy.
We now have 300. Oh, we got Jeremy Jordan. He's must be the Jeremy at CircleCityAlarm.com.
Okay. So
two of them claimed.
We got 2 down. Let me write this down. Y'all know I'm terrible at math and stuff. So I'm gonna we got 1 claimed, and 2 claimed. We still got 2 to go. So all right. Well, technically we got 1 more for sure, possibly 2, because we're still waiting to hear back from Tim, wasn't it? All right, I'm gonna announce it one more time. Tim A 444142 at AOL. Did anybody see Tim? If anybody sees Tim, I don't think Tim's coming. All right, so we're going for the third little drawing here, and A Creevy at Gmail.
ACREAVY@gmail.com.
However that is. Creevy. Anybody? All right, we'll all right, so we've got two that haven't answered, and we got, so technically we've only had 2 claimed and 2 that haven't answered. We will give just a moment. Tim A 444142 at AOL, and this one here, A Creevy at gmail.com. I'm just trying to make sure, in case there's a delay on the network or something. So, man, how do we pick 2 that aren't here? Okay, well, I guess that's part of the 30. No, it can't be part of the 30, or they wouldn't be on the screen.
Well,
all right, we're gonna
316 now, 318.
Right.
So that dance is coming up quick.
Oh Lord! All right, so we're gonna go ahead. Creevy, we're gonna give you a few more minutes, as if he's listening. But we're gonna go ahead and call it for the Tim A. Unless somebody saw him throw his hand up. I haven't saw him. Y'all, like I said, try to keep the comments down where we can see it. But yep, nobody's. All right, Tim. Sorry, guy. Must be present to win. All right, James Michael Browning. If we ought to know who that is. Anybody in the room? James Michael Browning. at
Name looks
gmail.com.
familiar. James, are you here? And want to claim your
See,
prize?
I never dreamed we would hit as many people that weren't here. All right, James. Calling James Michael Browning. Please report to the office. All right, so final announcement for what was the other one?
There
that
we go.
had?
We got Michael Browning.
Michael Browning. Okay, Michael has made it. So we got. So Tim didn't make the cut. He never showed up. All right, I'm gonna have to go back and look at these email addresses. I just realized I didn't take a picture of the other one.
Well, it's a good thing
All
this is recorded. So
yeah. Okay, so that is 3 claimed. What I do with my ink pen? All right, so we got 3 claimed. Give it just a second here. What was the other guy? Wasn't James Michael Browning? No, that one was a winner. I should have really took a picture of that one that wasn't there. Okay, so we got the one that hasn't claimed yet. We're gonna go ahead and roll it because I'm not gonna sit here. Just Bueller. All right, final roll of the night, guys. I wish you luck. Let's see what happens. Brian Rogers 309. See, I like it when those email addresses sound like names. Brian Rogers. Brian Rogers, you've been paged. Brian Rogers. Somebody asking about a Creevy. Oh, yeah, it was a Creevy. Brian Rogers. Man, these people put in for it and didn't hang out. That's terrible.
well, you know,
I mean, because technically you're getting paid. Technically, you're getting paid $25 an hour. I won. Damon, is that you?
wow, we're getting paid
What?
that much. I should have put my name in, man.
Damien, are you claiming one of these email addresses? Hello? So, Brian Rogers. Man, we've had, 4 dry runs on these names? All right, well. Any Brian Rogers in the room? Can anybody say this is,
So Damien says it's his roommate. They're the same house.
well, is he sitting there? I mean, I'd hate for you not to win it and him win it. If well, tell him he better email me if he's there, or tell him he better get in front of that keyboard. Or did you just sign your roommate up? Okay, well, he's saying
Hey, whatever works, right?
I mean, I guess if he as long as he got a representative there. I've got a wheel that I can spin, Jim, but I can't put 300 spaces on it. All right, so Damien, are you serious? You're not pulling our leg, are you? I mean, I don't want to go splitting hairs, but you know.
Says he's sending email. He says he's
Okay.
sending email
All right.
now,
Well.
so
All right.
We'll,
Well, I guess I'll let that fly. I did not specify that they had to be logged in. I guess as long as he's there with you. I mean, all right. Well.
so
We'll call that
everybody
done.
who won tonight, they should send you an email.
Yeah,
Or are you gonna send?
I'm gonna go back through it too, and if I don't get an email from them, I'll reach out to them. I've
right.
got the email list, and I've got. Ooh, look at me, all big. Where'd you go? How come you not
I
showing
don't
up?
know, you made me disappear.
All right, well, guys, like I said, I would love to give more. Maybe next time. Like I said, I've got something. I'm going to do something for New Year's. I've got to figure out what I'm going to do for New Year's. I'm hoping that everything's going to work out. So that is 4 folks. And let me know what you want, whether you want the gift coupon from Amazon, whether you just let me PayPal it to you so you can buy something somewhere else, or if you want one of the items that I listed on the entry. And I'll just have those drop shipped through Amazon to your house. That way, it's simple. If something happens with it, Oh, they're seriously want me to dance. I don't dance, guys.
Well, I mean,
I gotta
no, it
have
is over
I gotta
300.
have I gotta have music at least. You can't dance without music.
You're the one with the soundboard.
Oh my gosh, are y'all serious? Are y'all seriously trying to make me dance? I
It
don't
seems like
dance.
maybe
I don't
seems like
dance
New
well.
Year's would be more of a dancing thing. So maybe we give you a week to come up with a good dance.
Oh, oh my goodness. Jesus. Well, see, I gotta have some music. Are we talking about slow dancing? No, I can do. I can do
I
slow.
I want a good Fortnite dance.
I don't know that I know the Fortnite dance. Hang on. Let me look him.
It- well, it's a game, and it's known for all the
Oh,
various dances. Well,
is that
kids do.
okay? Is that the
Oh
one where
no,
they do this? What is it they do?
okay.
Yep, you gotta do
That's
that.
nope.
Is
You
that
all
it?
asked for this. You
Is
all
that
asked for
it?
this.
Is that? Hang on.
Wow.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me get up on the table.
Oh
No,
no.
I ain't fixing on the table. I be fell and broke my leg. All right, guys. Well, hey, it's a little early, but I know it's Christmas, and I really appreciate y'all hanging out with me. This was like a modern day Christmas miracle for me to break 300 on a live. Is that the chicken dance? Anything other than what is the chicken dance? I don't know what that. Did I nail it? All right. He said I nailed it. I had to get my daughter to review it. She's a Fortnite player. But twerk. Oh, you don't want to see me twerking. Y'all really try to get some stuff started now. Y'all, somebody will be free shot that, still framed it, or put it all over the world. But anyway, guys,
Remember, you
I
can go back
appreciate
and
it.
replay the video.
I know there'll be I'll be a meme come daylight. If Chris don't do it, or Brian don't do it, or somebody, I'll be a meme come daylight. But I appreciate you guys. Like I said, I can't just send everybody a gift, but I can't. That is not feasible. But I do appreciate y'all helping. This is like my little modern Christmas miracle, getting 300 in a live. That is unreal. Uh, so y'all have inspired me to try to come up with some more stuff, maybe some drawings. Like I said, me and Steve have talked about it, and I've been trying to keep boxes on some of these machines, and I've got to do better. But my problem is limited storage, because if I'm going to reship a machine to somebody, I got to have a box to put it in. Uh,
Well, and
and
it's got to be the
some of
right
the
laser that you can tear back down too, and put back into that box. Sometimes assembling
well,
them makes it a little hard to repack.
yeah, well, and this is something I thought about the other day, like that enclosure that they're really wanting me and you to try out. I thought about telling them, hey, send me 2, send me 3, and I'll do it. That way I can, we can have a drawing with those, stuff like that. That's things that I'd like to see us try to do. And we talk about this stuff all the time, guys. But I appreciate y'all. 300 viewers on the live. That's awesome. But thanks, guys.
Yes.
And Steve, I'll
Yes.
let you talk. I've been talking too much.
Yeah.
My throat's hurting.
No, it's a good evening. Thanks everyone for hanging out again. Yeah, 300 plus is an awesome way. Nice little Christmas present to us, and we will be back next week for those who don't care to run out on the town and celebrate New Year's. We'll be doing this again, and hopefully having some fun, answering some questions. And in the meantime, hit those like buttons, subscribe to both channels, check out the laser engraving community group, check out the map, and we will we'll catch you all on our channels throughout the week. Otherwise, one more show before the end of the new year on New Year's Eve, and close out the year.
I can't believe I danced on live. Appreciate y'all, and like I said, don't forget reason for the season, fellas. Take care of yourself and your families, and we'll see y'all next Sunday. We'll be off a couple of days. I may try to get a couple more videos going on some of this stuff. I'm, like I said, testing this guy out. If nothing goes wrong, maybe that'll be done the next few days. But good luck, and I hope y'all get everything you wanted for Christmas. But thanks for making my little Christmas wish come true, and see you next week.